Alrighty, guys, it's Tuesday. That's right. The No Lag Zone is back on the air. Now, tonight, we have a very, very special guest. I have been wanting him for a very long time since he revealed a lot about himself. And I was like, holy crap, I should have booked him a long time ago. But oh my God, I did it again. See, I got to get these little post it notes because I'm always pointing the wrong way. But, we're going to get to him and his amazing story here in just one moment. I see Deliberately Bearded grabbing first. Rob Brennan. Hey, cousins, how you doing? Now, David, I promised everyone I was going to do this, and I need to do this. A while ago, you put up a picture of yourself on your Facebook page, and I put the caption of, holy Christ, talk about ex-boy band member out of rehab not knowing your story. And you were like, well, partially.
Partially, yeah.
Yeah, and then I learned, and I was like, oh, fuck me. So, dude, I am so sorry because I know I have my struggles with alcohol. I would never demean a man or besmirch a man or tear a man down for taking care of himself. So, bro, for not knowing, I'm sorry. I really am.
Oh, no worries, man. No worries at all. At all. Oh, what's up, Andy? Hi.
Yeah, StreamYard's running slow. So, Brack, if you're in here, hey, bud. Okay, so I do this on every single show, but we're going to start tonight a little differently. There's a member of our beard community who's going through a rough time right now. I'm not going to say his name. If everyone can just say a prayer for him that he can get guidance and support and everything else that he needs, I think that would be phenomenal. Especially at this time of year, so close to Christmas, things are hitting people really, really hard. So if you can just take a moment tonight, positive vibes, prayers, whatever, it'd be appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay, now like we usually do, David, I know a lot of people know who you are, but why don't you introduce yourself to the world, brother?
So I am David, a.k.a. That Beard Guy Kansas City. Been a while since it was said that way. I'm a reviewer, small channel. Yeah, that's about me in a nutshell. I live in Kansas City. I like the Chiefs, and yeah, that sums it up. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, small channel, but with a big time feel behind it. You know, guys, if you have not, straight up bearded, hey, Stubber Chef Eric, if you guys have not subscribed to this man or watched his videos, you need to go to his channel. I believe it's That Beard Guy Kansas City. You're going to know him just by his face and his avatar, all right? He puts out great reviews. He puts out in-depth reviews, and his production level is really almost untouched in this community.
There's some out there, man. You know, when I first, I think, like everybody, anybody you ask, like, how did you find the, oh, yeah, this, I was going to talk about that in here in a minute, Matt. We'll get back to it. In this community.
No, Bill Rivers. No. No.
When in this community, when you go searching beard stuff, you run across a couple people. Scuba always probably being first, if not absolute first, and then Dan number 2. And, you know, Scuba, I don't know how much everybody knows about him, but he's a videographer, man. Like, I wanted to have that feel, and I learned how to do most of this by watching his stuff, from lighting to everything. So, yeah, I still can't touch that guy. That guy makes such phenomenal videos. He's so good. So good.
He's professionally trained, but look at that studio in the background. I mean, okay, I got DVDs, my clothes, and little baby Yoda back here. Right? Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's I wish so one of these days I'm gonna have to do like a backstage, because like you guys can see this stuff, but there's like so much other stuff to it. It's
yeah,
pretty
right.
cool.
You get that Wizard of the Oz feeling, you know, don't look behind the curtain. No.
Yeah, like camera, like monitor studio monitor speakers, PC lights. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get the usual stuff out of the way. Okay.
Sure.
What got you into making YouTube videos?
So throughout my life, I've had this problem with, I'm egotistical. Like I have this, egotistical is not really the right way to say it. I'm kind of a cocky person. And, you know, when I was getting into beard stuff, I was like, hey, you know, those are cool videos. I feel like I have something to say that might be a little different, you know? So I talked to a bunch of people. Mo the Bearded Shark, I reached out to him. a couple other people. I was like, hey man, look, I know I've never done this before. Like I've never been in front of a camera, but
Right.
I think I have something to offer. And every one of them were like, dude, do it. Pull the trigger. Like just get after it. So that's kind of how it started, you know? That's it. Just went
Nice.
from there.
It wasn't one of those should I not, should I? They're like, do it. And you're like, done.
Done. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. It's okay to say you've got some ego because let's get honest. Anybody who puts themselves in front of that camera and presses record, we've got ego because we want your views, we want your likes, we want your watch time, we want your interactions.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
so saying you've got ego, that's cool. I get it.
Yeah, I mean that's how it all began, man, and it was always so much fun. Like when I first started, my wife got so tired of hearing me like go through things because I'd always try and one take everything. I didn't know I no editing skill at all. I had no prowess in editing, and it was just horrible. And then kind of learned to use iMovie, and then was like, this isn't enough. So I switched over to the camera, learned how to edit. Yeah.
See, I've got to get better at that because I do everything one take. If I mess it up, I enjoy my screw up in my video and keep moving forward, you know?
You know who else does that is Josh, Embrace the Beard Life. Like I love those little cut scenes he plays at the end. They
Yeah.
some of the best film ever made is always the outtakes, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, with my house, especially with COVID, where I have my three little ones crawling around all the time, I'll start filming a video and I'm like, I have to go put down a kid riot. I'll be right back. Pause, you know, come back and all the children are safe. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. What's up, Ken? What's up, Gary? Ken doesn't know who Eiffel 65 is?
I'll admit, I
That's
don't either.
interesting. You don't know the blue song? The I'm
Oh,
Blue song?
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Eiffel
okay.
65.
All right, all right. I'm with you. And hey, Ron, how you doing, brother? So, God, how can I put it? What is your process when you start to do a video? Because I know we've got a lot of people who are getting out and getting started, and I think that you've got a lot to offer them to go, hey, here's a good way to make content.
So I think, and Dancy gave me this advice long ago. The most important thing about content is being yourself, right? There's one thing that separates everybody from the crowd, no matter what it is. If it's a small thing you do, or the way you say hello, or the way you say goodbye, there's just this thing that makes you you. So the first thing you have to decide is what makes you different? Like what are you going to do that's going to separate you from everyone else?
Yeah.
And then just be yourself. You know, there will never be another Ken Bluegrass Bearded. There won't ever be another Chris. There won't ever be another Dan or Scuba or Scott or Mo. Those spots are already taken. So you have to make your spot the way you're going to do it. You know, I feel like that's the best way to start.
See, I like that. Find out who you are before you press record. Because I will say it, and I know it's going to sound like I'm starting a drama, and I really don't fucking care. There are so many reviewers nowadays who want to be just like this person, or they want to be just like that person. Everything, how they do their videos, to how they talk, to how they dress. They're trying to be somebody else as opposed to, I want to hear you. I want to hear your point of view. If I want to watch Dan C, I'll go watch Dan C. You know, and that's not a slam on Dan, so don't go there, guys.
Yeah, I think like everybody's so unique, you know, and I wish, like, to the new reviewers out there that might be watching, don't be afraid to let you be you. So many people get confined in this whole, you said it, you hit the nail on the head. Like, I talk this way or dress this way or say this, or I have to do this in a review. The only thing you have to do is be you. People are going to watch your content for you, not for you pretending to be someone else.
Go figure. The king of the bullies, right there. The king of the bullies. Hey, Code, how you doing, man? Are you like fully recovered now? Got your sense of smell back, all that good stuff? Been worried about you, little brother.
If not, I watched a really cool TikTok video that's supposed to give you your taste back.
And speaking of different videos, you catch the one I posted today, having a little bit of fun with Ken Bluegrass Bearded?
No, I caught the live afterwards. Yeah.
It was interesting because I was talking with Ken, and I said it. I called myself a video whore. I'll review anything. And he challenged me to review a bag of Twizzlers. I'm like, all right, it's on. So I
Nice.
turned that review into, I can't believe this happened. This weekend I was cyberbullied. I'm like, this person who was a trusted friend said such disgusting things to me. I'm like, Ken, Twizzlers don't suck.
Watch that video get like 100,000 views.
Yeah, I know, right? Coach says he's recovered for the most part. Can't smell no more, but you're a teenager, so who cares?
Right. You're
You're fine.
you haven't even hit your prime yet.
I know, but don't tell that to Nuko. She's got plans for his ass.
Ugh.
And yes, Waltimus Prime wasn't it. I have to give him credit. I was dying with laughter watching him. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to pull me in. And I'm like, all right, get it together, Chris. Wipe the tears out of your eyes from the crying. Just get it together.
Yeah, Ken's another one, dude. Like Ken's something else. I like Ken a lot. A lot.
I love the fact that, God, you could literally shoot him in the foot and he'll keep the same facial expression and the same tone. He's going to be like, ow, I didn't like that.
Yeah, that's Ken. Yeah, it's him.
Okay.
Just
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was good.
I was going to say, moving on from Ken, because he has his own channel. He can go brag about himself there, even though I'll give you like 5 free minutes. You online purveyor of misinformation, you. In case Dan C's watching. Alrighty, man. Now, one of the biggest reasons I really wanted to get you on here is throughout the whole month of September, I was doing a whole, you can recover from anything, you can bring yourself back, because I firmly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
You are a living, breathing example of that.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. You guess. You beat, well, I hope I'm saying this right. You beat something horrible.
I like to think so, yeah.
And as far as I know, you haven't backtracked.
Not at all.
How many years now?
It will be 12 in July.
Brother, congrats, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
We're going to get into that because you said we were going to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Let's get into this because I know that maybe talking about this and someone watching this, you can help somebody.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about your addiction, what triggered it, and let's get into your recovery, you know?
Sure. So addiction started young. I have that, I hate to say this, I have that personality where, like, if I like something, I want to do it all the time, you know? And it could be anything. It could be, I mean, videos, or my studio is a prime example. Those are positive ones, but because Chris only reviews knives, Chesapeake. Oh, hi, Gary. So I like everyone, I had experimented around with smoking some pot when I was younger. Didn't really get into it. I liked the scene just because everybody was having a good time and everybody was having fun. When I was like 13, I think, my oldest sister's boyfriend at the time, husband now, had gotten pretty heavy into meth and kind of got me started on that. And then from meth, it went to heroin and ecstasy. And I think, you know, heroin is a beast that is a whole nother level. And it's hard to beat, man. It's hard to get that off your back, but.
Well, I'm just in shock because most people are like, okay, alcohol started me or whiskey started me, or I don't know if it's still sold, like Boone's Farm. You know? And then it's like you experimented with marijuana, and then it's like, okay, what else is out there? You went right from basically apple juice to I'm knocking over the fucking tree to get right at stuff. Damn, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, it's that whole thing like that. The scene behind drugs is a using and abusing type situation. Like, I've never met a good, this is hard to say, a good drug dealer. I think that you can have good people that are doing what they got to do, but at the end of the day, there's always a use and abuse situation. And that's exactly how it was with my sister's husband. You know, I was someone that could get places that he couldn't. You know, once he started using, he started selling and worrying about money. And I could get places like schools that he couldn't. Cops don't watch, younger kids. That just doesn't happen. A skater kid, and I lived in a town called Turlock, California, a little podunk town, and people don't watch people there. So,
why does Turlock sound familiar? Is it a big skating community?
Not so much. I mean, it's grown a lot since I've been back there, but yeah, I mean, it's
that name is sounding familiar to me. Like, what is it, Lords of Dogstown? I think.
No, they're farther down south.
Okay, farther north.
Infernal. Thank you, brother. And I hope you're having a Merry Christmas as well. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have a really, really interesting talk, bro. You're gonna enjoy this. Okay, so meth. You went into other things. You started dealing.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they go hand in hand. Yeah, absolutely.
Was it to feed the addiction, or was it just to get money, or?
So a little bit of both. To backtrack in the story just a little bit, my dad had passed. My birth dad, not the guy that raised me, but my birth father, had passed away due to an overdose. Right. So my mom, single mom, back in the late 80s, wasn't the easiest time. It wasn't like they can say equal pay, whatever. That really wasn't a thing. My mom was still working at McDonald's and a nursing home and a third job just to make ends meet. So seeing her go through that, like the biggest thing I always want to do is contribute. And so that was the justification in my mind to make it okay. Like, oh, if I can give my mom a couple $100 a month, it helps her out. So if this is what I need to do that, it makes it okay. That's the justification that I used in my mind. But
I can see that, because when I drank every single day, it was, okay, well, I need to go to work so I can get more alcohol. I need to go to work so I can have alcohol, my rent, my food. And then it became like, I need to go to work, so just alcohol. I need to go to work so I can have alcohol and strippers. So I get it. I get that, but do you look back on that now and go, I'd rather like to go back and slap the shit out of my younger self and be like, what are you thinking?
Oh, yeah. Like we'll get to it here in a little bit, but there's, I went through a really hard point. It was 2017 where I came to the point in my life where, looking backwards, like the choices I made that young had led me into what the unavoidable outcome would be. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of time, 10 years sitting in prison, to think about it. And, that's all time I missed out. Like my daughter that was just in the picture, she was 2 when I went to prison and 12 when I came home. You know what I mean? So that's time you can't ever get back. But yeah, I definitely regret it.
Steve, is it like a bad echo? Because I haven't heard that one in a long time. I'm using the mic right off of the webcam, so let me know, bro. Okay, so we'll get to the prison in a moment. Mm-hmm. So as you were dealing, were you, God, how can I put this? Were you trying to hide the money that was coming in, or were you enjoying, like, you know how they're always saying, like, mob movies, you got your score, put it the fuck away, don't touch it, let it sit?
I never did that. Yeah, I never did that. Ever. I spent, I think, more money than I made. I always ended up, I'd have the money to give to my mom, but, other than that, shoes, stupid stuff, like, it was stupid. I didn't ever put anything away and save it at all. That never happened.
Well, this is going to sound harsh, and I'm speaking from experience. Most addicts can't. Right. Because you're only thinking about today. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, well, if I wake up tomorrow, okay. Oh, Holly, the snack bitch loves you. You're still one of my favorite people on the planet, Holly, even though I pick on you at times, and you give it back tenfold. Much love, Holly. Thank you. Yeah, she gave me the nickname Snack Bitch a while ago.
I've still never tried whiskey and hardtack.
They've got some really, really good stuff.
I hear great things. I need to buy some of it.
And the best part about Holly, she's one of us. She's like a broette, or an official bro, if you want to go down that road,
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on down your road. So I get it. You're dealing to make your money to help mom. Mm-hmm. But what was your life like at that point? I mean,
I mean, it was complete and total chaos, like not even controlled chaos. Not having my dad around, my mom working so much, my house was empty a lot. So it was just a nonstop party at my house, it seemed like. And then I had moved away for a while. I went and lived with my older brother, and my mom came and got me one day. I was horrible. I was probably 15 then. I'd played soccer my entire life, So my mom came and got me and was like, "Look, it's time you get into a school where you can buckle down and get your sports life together." So we did that, and I went to a school. They made a movie about it called "When the Game Stands Tall," De La Salle out in California.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
And I played football for them, and had it made as a private school, so it alleviated the money problem. When you get into private schools, they actually can recruit like a college. Right. We had an apartment that was paid for. Everything was taken care of at that point in time.
So you had a full ride, and this is going to sound bad. Forgive me. As a junkie, you had a full ride.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. See, because some of my next questions are going to be like, hey, Hookem, I see it, bro, but sorry, I was focusing on David. Thank you. Had your addiction got so bad where you were sacrificing hygiene or weight? Because I can get where you're a star, and soccer stars are really skinny. You don't see fat soccer players because you're constantly cardio.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like I nobody's from the beard community. Well, one person, Grant, High Plains Drifter. He's met me in person, and everybody has this idea that I'm a bigger dude. Like I'm 5'4", and I've always teetered right at about, I don't know, even in high school, I was at like 130, so I was kind of slim, but I'm built wide. But yeah, I looked horrible. I mean, I still made my practices, still did what I needed to do. I was functioning at that point in time. But yeah, man, even hygiene, like when you don't sleep, you don't think about showers. You know what I mean? Like it isn't like a top thing. Like it's whatever, but.
Yeah, because when I can freely admit this, and this is why I asked. When I was working for Kroger at their call center out of Portland, Oregon, basically it was based out of the Fred Meyer headquarters. I did graveyard shifts, and I did 410s. So basically I had 3.5 days to do whatever I wanted to do, and I would stay sober for 3 of those work days. And then the moment I got home on that 4th, it was I would drink until I fell asleep. Then I'd get up and I need more alcohol. And then, oh, look, I fell asleep, waking up the next day going, yeah, the Corona sweats ain't too bad. And keep drinking. And then it's like, day 2 is gone. Oh, crap, day 3 is gone. All right, day 4 is here. Fuck, now I got to get in the shower and scrub myself like 3 times so I don't smell like Corona.
Yeah. Lucked out isn't the right word, but, alcohol has never really been my thing. Like even so, not to bring up AA or NA because that's not everybody's cup of tea. But there's this working theory that is like once an alcoholic or an addict, once always an alcoholic or an addict. Yeah. And that works for some people. But I can still go hang around my friends that drink, you know what I mean? And not have an issue. I really think, I'm sure we'll get into it. It comes down to a choice you make. You know what I mean? Like, am I going to do this? Or am I not? So,
and that's where a lot of it is. I will be honest. I have never believed in that medical diagnosis that you have a gene running around your body that predetermines if you're going to be an alcoholic, if you're going to be an addict, or whatever. I've never believed that.
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow, for sure.
But I know myself, and like we talked about in the beginning. Queso's the king of snacks. Nice. I have a very addictive personality. So when I was doing tabletop wargaming, I had to be the best painter possible. I had to have the best stuff possible. It's when I drank, my issue was never just, I want one, that I'm done. It was, I want 1, then I want 2, then I want 3, then I have to have 4.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's the same way. I'm still that way now with other things, but Yeah, that whole lifestyle, man, it's just so. I mean, I guess we should move it forward a little bit. Um, there was someone that I had gone to school with. We had been best friends. Our moms were pregnant together. That's how far we went back. When things got really bad, I went into the military and that whole thing blew up in my face. Totally my fault. But
How so? I mean, is it because of the addiction or?
yeah. So
Okay.
you probably know better than most, and anyone else. So the military's got this thing about the cure for everything is oxys and Xanax, and hey, I hurt my toe. Okay, here's 800 milligram ibuprofen, Xanax, and oxys. And honestly, it was a mind state. It was a state of mind. Then I wasn't prepared. I did it for the wrong reasons, and I wasn't prepared. And that's not the way to be. Like,
Respect for you saying that. Seriously, respect.
yeah. And I mean, it was a lesson learned. But I came home, bad off in my addiction, really bad. And this guy, a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, like a brother. I mean, our kids ate together. My oldest sons and his son. And he turned on me, man. That's that whole lifestyle, people there in that lifestyle are willing to do anything to save themselves. And I think that was the beginning of when I decided I didn't want to live like that anymore.
And that was going to be a question that I had coming up because addicts, and I'm using that as opposed to like junkies or anything else, but I'm just going with addicts. They tend to be very sneaky people, and it's about me. It's like you and I could be at the bar that night partying and having fun, but the moment I have the cops on my front door, I'm like, yeah, man, it's all David's fault.
And that is almost exactly what happened. I mean, it was a little bigger than that, of course. It was, there was a lot of drugs involved and some stolen property. They go hand in hand. We were in a car that I didn't know was stolen.
No.
And we got pulled over, and I told him to run, get out. There's only one cop. They can't stop both of us. That whole genius idea. And he did. And I told him to get everything out of my house because, like most people dead off in the midst of an addiction like that, I was at my mom's. I was like, get this stuff out of my mom's. And he didn't. And it all came back on me along with everything in the car. And that's part of what I went to prison for. But the phone call I made from in jail is what really got me. I got a tampering with a witness, which is a non-parolable crime, because I called him and told him exactly what I thought. In hindsight, it was a bad idea, but what do you do?
So, if I understand part of this right, getting arrested was your trigger to get clean at that point.
It was part of it, yeah. I mean, not in the beginning. So the prison lifestyle is a lot like an addiction lifestyle. There's a pecking order. There's things that you should or shouldn't do. Everybody's like, oh, if you ever go to prison, find the biggest guy there and just smart off to him. So let me tell you from personal experience, that doesn't help anything. That is just not a true statement at all. I got my ass whooped up one side of a chow hall and down the other with COs watching because they knew I'd mouthed off to the wrong person. But, there came a point when you have all that time to yourself, and there just came a point when I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. And my mom actually found somebody in the recovery community and hooked me up in prison with him. And he let me call him every day and sent me in literature. And that's just kind of where it started, kind of where it all began.
I'm going to ask this because I know from talking with a lot of addicts and a lot of stuff that I've done, everything seems to center around mom, because it's really funny how much that we're like, yeah, we're big, we're bad, we're manly, man. I will fuck you up, but mom, I'm in jail. I need help.
Yeah, my mom was my ace, man. Like, as far back as I can remember, it's hard in that kind of lifestyle to find any kind of stability. But my mom was always that person. She was always like, get your stuff together, come home, eat a couple sandwiches, I'll nurse you back to health, and I'd go right back at it, you know what I mean? But yeah, dude. Yeah, I think a lot of guys are like that. Yeah, mom's mom. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing I preach to my kids all the time. You will always respect your mother above everything else. If you want to yell and swear at me, I'm big. I can take it. She carries you. She loves you. She brought you into this world, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And trust me, if she ever snaps her fingers and go, get him, you're out of this world, you know, by my hands.
Yeah. So my mom, there was a couple scary moments there. It was touch and go. I didn't know my mom was going to take me out or not. But yeah.
Inferno, thank you, brother. I won't tell a word. I promise.
But yeah, so that's kind of how that whole thing began. The road to recovery started right there. When I made the decision, people also get this misconception. Oh, if you're in prison, you're sober. That's just not.
No, there's I sorry to cut you off like that. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there from ex-inmates who teach you how to make alcohol in prison, and they teach you how to, like, you know, score stuff.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, there's more drugs per capita inside any prison, at least in this state. In the state of Missouri, there's more drugs per capita than there is on any street, you know, in any neighborhood.
Code, why do you think I love her so much? That anger, that fire. Wow. Just saying, Code. And it's almost a new year. I get my jokes back, brother. I get them back. Oh, man. Really, Halfway? Sorry. I really like some of the comments that are coming through, guys, and I'm trying to, like, put a bunch of them up. So forgive me. I'm also concentrating a lot on David because his story, like I told you, it's phenomenal. You know?
Yeah, it's a dandy.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been able to come back from it. You know, I don't think you want to go back to jail. I don't think you want to go back to doing that stuff. I've seen you with your kids, and talk about lifesavers.
Yeah, man. Like, so Missouri's really big on, like, halfway houses, right? Like, you know, the federal penal system, they make it go into a halfway house. State of Missouri encourages it, but so I found a place here in Kansas City called the Healing House, and I went there with a 30-day plan, which was like, okay, I'm going to get here, do what I need to do, get my own place, you know, and ended up staying there for 19 months, dude. I found the job I'm still at now, which is a story for a whole nother time. But I mean, I just think everything, when I decided I was going to put into action what I've read about and talked about and asked about, then everything fell into place. You know, it's like, job, do what you need to do.
And Eric, now you know why I wanted him on so bad. It would have been perfect in September, but I don't care. I've got him. I've got his story, and just listen to him, you know? This story is going to be able to help somebody at some point because you've got yourself a really good job right now.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, you've got yourself an incredible family.
Mm-hmm. They're awesome. Even my teenage daughter. Yeah, they're awesome.
I have this feeling that I'm not going to hear of any relapses. You know, it's not going to be like I'm going to see an Instagram post going, has anybody seen David? You know?
I mean, I won't ever say that it's off the table. Like, it's not an option. But like, nothing, it's funny when you change over to a different lifestyle, how nothing, like the obsession and the compulsion for that are gone. I mean, there's going to be a thumbs down on everything. I bet you they're still watching the video. You know what's really funny is that thumbs down happened 8 hours ago before we even went live and even said a word. It was already there. So I love it when they do that. Honestly, it motivates me so much more to present a great show with my guest. Because I'm going to be like, you want to thumbs down this? Have at it, bro. You know? But yeah, I mean, a lifestyle change, man. And it's not one thing, like, not to quote the big book all the time, but my sponsor used to tell me all the time, like, the only thing you have to change is everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's absolutely true. Like, I had to change the way I thought, the way I felt, but 2017 was a rough year, dude. I was out of prison 10 days, had a massive heart attack, right? Died.
Bro.
Done. Came back from that. That was just another nail that let me know I couldn't go back to that lifestyle. Like, I had taken a serious toll on my body, and that's what the doctor had said. Like, dude, like, you can't, whatever you were doing in the past, you can't do that anymore. And it caught up with me. And then after that, that was in March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months later, my mom passed away. Like, I got a call when I was at work. My oldest nephew called me and was like, and you know how moms are, dude. Like, my mom called me every single day. We text all day long.
Yeah.
She was having some health problems. She was rebounding amazingly, walking 2 miles a day, doing what she needed to do. And they found her dead in her apartment. And that was a hard pill to swallow. But I had two options, you know. I could let it take me back down that rabbit hole, which is not an honor to her name at all. Or just fight through it, you know. And it's still, like, to this day, like, there's times I know people that have lost family members or parents, especially, or brothers and sisters, any family member has those moments where, good or bad, like, I want to call and talk to my mom. Like, what advice would she give me? And now it's even worse. Like, now there's a huge court case going on. Come to find out, a large medical company, supply company, had released a diabetic pump that had a faulty hose, and that's what killed her. So, hard pill to swallow, man.
Yeah, but God, this is going to sound so cold, and I'm sorry. It could have been anything at any given moment. You know, it's really weird. And, like, I try to tell a lot of people, I'm turning 50 next year. I live every day like it's my last, you know?
Yeah.
Not that, okay, I got to go party, I got to chase this. No, it's, if I die today, I want my kids to know I was happy. I want my kids to know I love them. You know, I don't want my better half going, well, he's telling me he loves me, but do I need to check his phone and check text messages and, you know, scroll through his internet history, you know, that kind of crap?
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's another thing people miss out on, and that's an interesting turn into the beard community, right? Because this community, for all the things that it is, like, it's not a place where you can people have really high expectations when they come in the community, right? I'm going to make a channel. I'm going to hit 1K, and then I'm going to hit 30,000 subscribers. I'm going to make it rich. I'm going to strike it on YouTube. And when people don't make that immediately, like, it does one of two things. That feeling either turns outward, and that's when you get people that talk bad about other people, or it turns inward, and that's when you implode on yourself, right? So yeah, man, I don't know, man. I have a whole different theory for that.
That's perfect, because I ask everybody who comes on my channel for the first time this question, and you segued into that beautifully, dude. I seriously believe inside of all of us, there is something. On those days when you're beat down, dog-ass tired, you don't want to get your ass out of bed. Mm-hmm. The winners will get up and go. The people who are always making excuses, and yes, because I know Brother Cribs is in here, I'm stealing his line. You know, the winners will make moves, not excuses.
Absolutely.
What is it in David that gets your ass out of bed when you don't want to get up?
So I think in that moment for me, it's my legacy, right? What am I leaving behind? You know, like, what are people going to say about me when I'm not here? That's it. Like, I want to be a good dad. I want to be a good friend. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a man of my word. You know what I mean? Like, all of those things mean something, you know. They fall by the wayside so much these days, but all of that stuff means something. Everything I do is about legacy, you know, everything.
And I like that. And I think one of the huge reasons everything falls by the wayside, and I know I'm old, and the way I'm going to say this is going to trigger someone, and I really don't care. There's a lot of things that aren't taught anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not taught to get up. You're not taught to accept responsibility for your actions. Everybody has an excuse why something didn't work. Oh, I got up 5 minutes late. Starbucks didn't make my coffee order right. So yeah, I can't feel today's shift when you're working at McDonald's. Yeah. You know, no one remembers what it's like to be a paper boy, and you're like 13, 14, getting up at 4:30 in the morning to make sure people have their papers.
Or, you know, and another one that gets me is, and this goes one of two ways whenever I say it. People are like, yeah, you're right. Or people are like, dude, you're absolutely insane. I'm used to it either way. But participation trophies,
Oh, God.
right? Like when I was growing up, life was about winning, you know? It was that drive, you know, to not to beat the person next to you per se, but to feel prideful about what you were doing. And now I feel like the world switched over to the Kardashians and freaking participation trophies, and the world is insane, dude. It's insane.
I remember growing up, dude, like you're doing Little League stuff. You never ran around the baseball diamond going, I'm number 34. I'm number 34. You know, you were like, I want what they have. I got to train harder the off season. I got to get better. I got to, you know, I want to go to this camp. I want to do that. You had that inner drive to be better.
Yeah, and I think that's a thing with YouTube too, right? Like when I started on my phone, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is great, amazing content that is made on phones. I've seen videos of almost full-length feature films made on phones that are out these days. But like it's that same drive. Like what do I want to do with my channel? Like do I want to be just another channel, or do I want to make something, you know? Do I want to look different? Like my look is a bit different than most people's, or my setup, or the way I review, or my cutscenes that I use, you know, I always strive to do something better because I don't want a participation trophy. I don't want one.
Yeah. And I mean, I love it when the younger guys are coming up and they're doing things, you know, that make me look at my channel and I go, he gonna kick my ass here in a moment. I have to make some changes, you know?
Yeah, man.
And another example is like, well, this idiot right here. Oh, I mean, this guy right here. You know, when he first popped on scene, I was like, he's too nice. He's not going to do anything. And then he brought Mel into the picture with cookies, and now he's going to beat all our asses. You know?
Thanks, Sean, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been too long, man. It's been too long. Chris, Bearded Mac, great to see you too, man. Thanks for all the support. Recently we had a good talk, and I appreciate that, man. Yeah, absolutely, Swag. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So,
hi, cousins. Kyle, sorry.
Yeah, this one's Kyle. All right, so we're going to move on to some other stuff here in a moment, but I got to ask this one.
Yeah.
Did your mom know everything that was going on? Did she just like turn that mom blind eye to it?
Yes and no. So she knew what I was doing, and she didn't condone it in any way. But, you know, when you're working 3 jobs and things look the way they do, I mean, she never turned a blind eye to it. She didn't actively support it. But, I mean, we needed the money at the time. The end doesn't justify the means at any point in time. But, I mean, we were poor. Like, we were poor growing up.
Yeah.
And, you know, to be able to have a house and a car and food in the fridge and not rely on government assistance was nice, you know? So, I mean, it doesn't justify it, and she was by no means happy about it. But, I mean, you do what you got to do, you know?
I know. I get that, you know, because I grew up in like a strict Irish Catholic household. I was seriously more afraid of my mother than I was the cops. You know, it'd be like if I'd done something wrong, I'd be like at the freaking police station going, can you arrest me now? Because the moment she finds out about this, the coroner is going to be showing up at my house anyway. So here, what do you need me to confess to?
Yeah.
You know?
The cops brought me home one night. I'd gotten in a bit of a quarrel with someone and had gotten stabbed, and they brought me home. My mom was like, well, you might as well take him right back to the hospital because I'm going to do way worse than that to him. To the cops, you know?
See, that's like old school parenting right there, you know?
Right. Absolutely. Ooh. Absolutely.
Oh, man. All right. So as we're going to put a wrap on this and move on to some other stuff, I know we've only scratched the surface. And if things work out and schedules end up perfectly, I want you back for more in-depth stuff on this.
Yeah, anytime, bro. Yeah.
What would you say right now to somebody who's struggling with their own addictions?
The first part is definitely recognizing that you have a problem. The people you surround yourself with, so like minds, some people say like energy attracts like energy, or garbage in, garbage out's another way to put it.
Yeah.
You really have to take a step back and analyze what it's doing for your life. Like, is it helping you sustain yourself spiritually, physically, and monetarily, right? If those three things are being met, do you really have a problem? Normally, people can sustain a monetary one, like a financial, the active, functioning addicts or alcoholics is what the term they would use. But spiritually, you're dead. It's really hard to be all of those. So I would say the first step is admitting that there's an issue. You can't fix something that hasn't been figured out. You cannot. And once you figure it out, there's an answer. I promise you, there's someone somewhere, whether it's YouTube. I mean, they have these Skype meetings now. Like, there is someone somewhere that's been exactly where you are. And it's never too late, right? The foxhole is never so deep that there's not a way out. There's just not. There's always a way. So yeah, I think that's step one. And you don't have to admit it to another person, but do some deep digging and think about how your life would look without the garbage, right? Like, if you were to take out the trash. I'm always saying that to people. Like, I like to keep my side of the street clean. That's kind of a famous saying of mine. But what would your life look like if you took out the trash? So for me, it was like, well, I would have a house, I would have a car, I wouldn't be sitting in prison. So all of those things, when you alleviate the problem, those go away. They're just a secondary note to what the main problem really is. So yeah, figuring it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, guys, wow, how can I put this? Now you know why I wanted him here. The stuff that I've been saying about talk to people, be honest with yourself. You can always come back. Here's yet again another living, breathing embodiment of that. We have two more people that I know of in the chat. Sober Chef Eric. He told part of his story when he came on. And Brother Swag, when he shared his story, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Swag, man. So, there was in the very beginning of my YouTube career, Swag and we talked all the time. And then I made some choices that were mine alone, you know what I mean, that weren't the best ideas. And even throughout that, Swag and I's story kind of coincide a little bit. Like, we went through some of the same stuff. But that dude's still been there every day, every step. Even when I wasn't talking to him, he would reach out and talk to me, and even if it's just like, hey, what's going on? So I have tons of respect for Swag, man. Like, yeah, he's that dude for real. I think Rob Acker's the same way. I know Acker and I have probably not always seen eye to eye, but if I want to know the truth, that's one of the people I'm going to ask. Like, hey, Acker, am I tripping, dude? Like, what's going on? And he'll tell you, good, bad, or indifferent.
He'll tell you straight out. And it's funny you mention him, because you two are tied together basically with the story of how I freaking met you.
Oh yeah, there is that.
Yeah. And for those out there in the chat who are wondering, it was way back when I had Bearded Motivation on my channel. And I made a comment that I wish I lived closer to Dave so I can knock in his door and beat the crap out of him, get him off his Instagram. And somehow it got twisted as I was talking about Acker. So here comes my guest tonight on Beard Therapy going, and this motherfucker in the chat. I'm like, oh, crap, here we go. But it's nice that we've been able to move past that, and we've got this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Some people... like, everybody's going to see what they want to see in the community, right? Because if people are looking for drama, they're going to find it. But if people are looking to build friendships I have
to on that one.
If people are looking for lasting friendships, I have friends in the beard community that I've never met in person, but I know I can call on anytime, day or night. You know what I mean? And so I think with that comes butting heads. We're all guys, and I am a loudmouth firecracker. Like anybody that knows me will tell you that. But yeah, it's good. You know, I think in a way I don't like how it panned out in the beginning, but I think it's set the stage for an interesting friendship. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like the same thing with Rob Acker. I will tell you honestly, no one would believe over a year ago he would have ever came on one of my live feeds, and he was a couple weeks ago. So it's just like when you look at how things are, and if you keep making those changes and you keep making moves forward and you keep being honest with yourself and everybody else, look what happens.
Yeah, and I know we said there was a couple things we weren't going to talk about tonight, but I mean, I'll open the door. You know, and here's the thing, like when it comes to the whole situation, like I made that decision maybe a lot, or not even maybe, definitely in a very hasty kind of thought pattern. And that leads me to another thing I'll say to new reviewers. So it's never, we all say I'm on the chase to 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000, right? But at no time should you ever sacrifice your morals to get to that level, right? I've been on both levels. I'm still, my channel's only like 400 strong, which is great, dude. And I'm grateful for every single person that I have on my channel, or that watch the videos, which will be coming shortly. But I've been on the other side of it too, at 7K, and able to reach out to these companies that I probably never would have got to talk to. But honestly, I did that on my channel. Like, you know, I mean, not to brag or anything. I might have had Eric Van Holz on my channel with still
brag. Come on, brag. You've earned that right. Brag.
Right. But yeah, don't ever sacrifice it. Right. And that's another never too late situation. Like, you know, I got really close, to the person that was the other half of that channel. Right. But I wasn't right with me. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can say it. I wasn't right with me. So it led to other things, and it put me, I painted myself in a corner, which I'm famous for doing. And yeah, and I mean, I had a choice to make. You know, was I going to continue the way I was going and feeling the way I was feeling, or was I just going to let it go and see what happened? You know what I mean? And I think letting it go and seeing what happened, although there are parties involved that wouldn't agree with me saying this, was the best thing. It was just the best thing. You know what I mean? Because now I can be me 100% again and not have to question, am I doing something that's going to lead to whatever down the road? And most importantly, I suck at drama, right? I suck at it. Like I just suck at it, you know?
Not a bad thing. David,
right.
That's not a bad thing, dude.
And it's just like, you know, I still stand by that. Like, if you look for drama, you're going to find it. I could find drama right now. I could easily just be like, oh, hey, there it is right there. I'm going to put a magnifying glass on it. I'm going to make 20 Instagram posts. I'm going to fire it all up. But for what? You know, at the end of the day, like, it consumed me. Like, my wife was like, Dave, shut up. Like, if I have to hear one more negative thing come out of your mouth, like, I'm going to go down there and light your studio on fire. So, yeah, man, it's just... And, you know, honestly, I know the question's going to come up, or it's been asked in other places. Like, on my side, there are no hard feelings. It was just a better choice for me. And I feel better. I'm a better version of me because of where I'm at now.
Now, that ties into what I told you in the green room. You would have never known if you hadn't taken that chance. I told you flat out I didn't understand your choice, but it was yours. And I've always supported you as David, you know, you the man, you the person behind that camera. Because once we got over that little blip, you and I have been 100%, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and there's no ill will, no nothing. It's just I had to find peace. You know what I mean? I read about, like, I'm a super nerd. I should have started with that. But okay, I read.
Look, I've got Baby Yoda back here. I've got Batman stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I read a lot, right? And I don't know that I buy into the law of attraction, but I do buy into you are what you surround yourself with, right? And when I was in that whole drama loop, like everywhere I looked, it was like drama. I would try and reach out to people in a friendly way, and it would turn into drama because I wasn't right. You know what I mean? I wasn't peaceful. And today, I'm peaceful. You know, it's good. Life's good.
I know you said the law of attraction, but I've always gone with your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a perfect way to say it. Absolutely.
For me, it's comical. Who I was 2 years ago, I wouldn't be friends with half the people I'm talking to nowadays because, yeah, I'm an arrogant prick at times, but back then I was like, man, fuck everybody. I'm going to do this my way, and if you don't like it, get the fuck off my channel. And, then I had to make changes. My most famous one was seriously reaching out to a guy I made fun of, and now he's a very good friend of mine, and he helped me overcome so much. And in case all of you are wondering, yes, I'm talking about the virus, the Pragmatus himself, beard practitioner Andy. He is a wonderful guy. I call him Ned Flanders all the time. I know he's got a double life as a mob hitman. All right, because every time he goes good times, he's relaying a kill in his head. Just saying.
Probably. I would buy that from Andy. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's so, googly, I burnt the muffins. Oh, shit. Yeah. And the camera goes off. He's like beating puppy dogs, kicking cats across the yard.
Absolutely. But yeah, man. And so, the next question I get a lot is content. Like, what's going on with content? Obviously, I had to scrap some stuff that I had done previously. I had some videos saved up that had to get scrapped. But my graphics card is down right now. So, as soon as that's back up, then I will be producing some amazing content, if I might say so myself.
Well, it is the end of the year, so, everybody's taking that time off and doing whatever, getting themselves right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to bring this up. I don't know if Matt's still in here. So this shirt, like Matt brought up the Moedim shirt. I'm one of like 3 people that has it. And nice. He just released the Moedim set, which my first collab is in there. So that was cool. That's Bay Area Beard Co. biblicalbeards.com, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Now that the website is actually functional, yeah.
Oh, don't even go down that rabbit hole with me, dude. It's been months. I was Matt's first customer.
I'm not. Yeah. He told me when I reached out to the product to the channel, he literally said you contacted him right away to buy right away.
Yeah, dude. I had just started growing a beard. I got his. I am vaping Heisenberg menthol.
Must have missed it. Oh, there it is. It just popped up. Sorry.
I have the YouTube pop out chat up over on the other side, so it gets quicker. But Matt, dude, his beard products, I was opening them in the hospital when my daughter was born. The first of the day she was born is when I got him in the mail. Yeah, he's another good dude. Solid dude.
I've had nothing but good experiences with him. I liked his product. I got to admit, his beard butter that I got, it was really weird because in the tin, it smelled like Reese's peanut butter cups. But when it warmed up and got in beard, it was coffee and cognac.
Yeah, he's definitely got a different take on how he does scents. He's a character.
All right, brother. So now we're going to move on to something a little bit interesting. You ready for like a little lightning round, to get to know David kind of round?
Absolutely.
All right, Matt. These are really, really simple questions. No right or wrong answer. This is all, what does David want? What does David like? That kind of thing.
That's my favorite kind, no right or wrong answer kind.
Right? Can't mess this one up.
Right.
All right, my brother. Chicken or fish? What's your favorite?
Fish.
Burgers or tacos?
Oh, that's such a hard call. Tacos.
Okay. Now, everyone's been calling it, like the old comics, the Dagwood sandwich, like the bread and the meat, the cheese, and everything stacked up. Mm-hmm. Or pizza.
Sandwich.
Nice. All right, man. Well, let's get a little bit more in there. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite music genre? What's your go-to?
Okay, this is gonna sound nuts. Motown. I'm a huge Motown fan.
Any certain time period or
60s? Like, yeah, I would say 60s Motown
Nice. All right, man. What's your favorite movie?
of all time.
Yeah.
There's a movie called The Salton Sea with Val Kilmer, kind of a not very well known movie. It's amazing. It's a great movie.
There you go. I'll throw this one up from Code.
A7S3, Sony.
Sweet. All right, man. Are you a baseball or hockey kind of guy?
Hockey.
Favorite team in hockey?
The Blues.
Ah, well, obviously. I should have seen that one coming. All right, man. Football or basketball?
Football.
What is your like go-to song? Say like you're feeling down, you want to be cheered up. What's your favorite song?
Sitting at the dock of the bay.
Nice.
Yeah. Or California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. It was just an amazing time for music.
Yeah.
Anything by the Beatles. That too. Anything by the Beatles.
All right, man. Now, these next couple, people don't like to answer, and I get it as a reviewer, because you kind of feel like, should I, shouldn't I? What if I say the wrong thing? Someone's going to get mad, but let's give you a shot here.
Sure.
Currently, what do you think is the most overrated beard company out there?
Beard brand.
Interesting. In your opinion, who do you think is the most underrated beard company?
Damn Yankee.
And if you could only use one men's grooming company for the rest of your life, who are you going with?
Company or product?
Company.
Ooh. If I could only use one for the rest of my life. You know, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to say Renewed Man.
Never tried him, and I know he's out there. Sorry, but
yeah, I don't know if he's in here or not, but dude, and the way he's just been slamming his products is just on point.
Now I know that lots of people do use it as a beard enhancing drug. If you want to go down that route, do you currently use biotin?
I do not.
And you see, this is one question I can't ask you because you've already revealed a bunch tonight. I usually go, what's the secret about yourself that you haven't told anyone that you're going to reveal tonight? But you've already done that. My God, look what you've talked about. What he's thinking. Nice.
Oh, okay. I got one that I've never talked about.
Okay.
So one time I was hanging out with a good friend of mine, and when I used to eat Xanax a lot, I'd black out. And when I came to from the blackout, I specifically told her not to bring anyone around me. And she thought that it would be funny to bring her dealer over. And I woke up to him duct taped to the bed and all of his money and drugs in my possession somehow.
Sorry.
And I had to untie him and let him go. And apologizing for that, you just can't. So I saw him in prison like 8 years later.
Awkward.
Awkward, yeah.
All righty, man. Oh, God, this one's going to be interesting. What is your biggest regret so far in the reviewer game?
Not staying on my channel.
All right. So here's a question that everyone gets asked from every single human resource thing, period. Now, you can do this either channel-wise or personal-wise. It's a dealer choice. Where do you see yourself in about a decade?
So channel-wise, I'd like to hit 1K, so that gives me some time to handle that, right? We're talking 10 years.
Yeah.
Personal-wise, I want to build a house with my studio as a part of it. From the ground up. Like, I just want to buy some land on some acreage.
You build it or have somebody else do it for you?
50-50. I mean, I want to be a part of it, but there's certain things I can't do. You know, I'm not afraid to admit that, but luckily my brother can, so.
See, and that's one of the things I tell people all the time. I'm smart enough to know what I don't know, so I find people who know those things so I can go bug the piss out of them and go, come teach me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. So, what is David's favorite ice cream?
There's a company here in Kansas City. They're local. They make one called Monster Cookie Mash. That's like a peanut butter ice cream with, like cookie dough in it, like still like covered M&M covered cookie dough.
Nice.
It's pretty epic.
Alrighty, man. What is your favorite holiday?
Hanukkah.
I can see that. And once again, Mazel Tov, L'chaim, and the other one. And David, are you a balm or butter kind of guy right now?
Right now, it depends on day or night. Like, I'm a butter guy. I use butter at night before I go to bed.
Okay.
But
No,
balm
I
has
don't.
its place.
I like balm lives matter.
Balm lives matter. Yeah.
Alrighty, brother. I know COVID has screwed up so much for everybody in this country. And I know we all talk about our beard washing schedule and our beard, taking care of schedule. Has COVID screwed that up for you?
Yeah, because I have to wear a mask all the time. Like when I'm at work, it started out with if you leave your desk, wear your mask. But the position I'm in, I always have people at my desk. So I have a mask on, it seems like all the time. And it has just, I saw a video that said, if you have a mask on, you should wash your beard. You know what I mean? Because all that stuff's getting trapped in it. So it's pushed me to wash my beard more than I normally would, for sure.
Nice. All right, man. We got 2 more before the little bonus thing because I'm stealing this from Bearded Life until Nature Maker comes back. Then I'm going to turn it back over to him. But these next 2 questions, brother, are the most burning questions in the beard community. You could take his steak, and does pineapple belong on pizza?
My steak, rare.
Good man. Good man.
And I feel like pineapple does have its place on pizza. I had to try it out, right? Because we had been going through that whole thing. I'm not saying it's something that I would ever order, although I did one time to try it out, and it's not horrible. It's not something. I could see how people enjoy it, sweet and salty, whatever. But it's not my cup of tea. But yeah, if people like it, then yeah.
Okay, well, we did this last week, and we're going to do it this week too until Joe burns his butt back with Meet Your Maker. And Joe, if you're watching, yes, I'm stealing from you, Don Joe.
Don Joe.
All right, you got 5 questions to ask me. Any 5 you want, fire away. I'll answer them.
Okay. So let's do. I want to know your company take. So if you had one company's product to use, who would your pick be?
And it's going to piss him off because he's in the chat right here. Simply because they've got body wash, they've got shampoo, they've got beard wash, they've got beard oil and whatnot. I love Chesapeake. Don't get me wrong. I think Chesapeake is great, but for all over products, I'm going right here.
That's why I asked you product or company, because if it would have been product, I would have had to say Vitality. Like I wouldn't have had an option. But so
game changer.
Oh, dude. Up and coming reviewers, who do you have your eye on?
I've got one showing up next week on the show. Gary, wrong answer. He's going to have me whacked anyway. I said nice things about Holly, so I'm going out on top, Gary, all right? We've got Deliberately Bearded Ron, who's in here right now. I like his style. He's an old throwback kind of guy, and he's like right there. I love Beard Code because he's got that mix of that youthful energy and that old soul kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
West Texas Beard Crew is coming on next week. I like what them good old boys were doing. Doing Chesapeake dirty. Nice. And I will even admit, he's in the chat. He was a guest on my show, Ben Jammin. I like his style, and I like what he does. I love that. What is going on, guys?
That goes back to being,
look,
goes back to being you, man. That's him. That's him.
Yeah.
If you could live any one place, of course, allowing family with you, if you could be set up in any place in the world, where would it be?
County Cork, Ireland.
Nice.
On my mother's side, that's where the family immigrated from. And I have always wanted to go back there because I've seen pictures of it, and it's just incredibly beautiful scenery. I'd like my kids to be around that a lot more. The crime rate is so down.
Mm.
You know, I don't want to worry. God, how can I put this? My kids go to school. Is there going to be a school shooting? My kid's trying to come home from the bus. Is some jackass drunk going to run him over in a car?
It's true.
You know, and my Brianna's freaking incredibly beautiful. I don't know how I made that daughter. I am scared shitless of when she wanders a little, who's going to grab her and run.
That's what I worry about with the one that was sitting beside me when we started the video. So if you had to choose, would you rather fight a gorilla or a squid, like a large squid, not a small one?
I'll be honest, I'll take on that squid because I know it's got the arms, but it's only got that one little pincher beak.
Mm.
That gorilla's got that mutant strength, and no. You get within arm's reach of that thing, you're done. It's like Tyson in the 80s. You done, son.
That was my next question. Tyson is involved in it. So would you rather get in the ring with Mike Tyson or Conor McGregor?
McGregor.
Mike Tyson in his prime.
Yeah, I'm saying McGregor because he's probably drunk. He's Irish, though. Tyson, I'm going to be eating soup for like the next decade. He's going to hit you once. Your teeth are going to go out your rear end, and you're going to be drooling on the freaking mat going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's my 5, man.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, I know. Killing you, Smalls. I know, guys over there. I knew it. I knew Gary'd get mad, but it's okay. He's got my address. He'll send the hitman later. But, okay, we're at that point where I'm going to do the usual wrap-up. I only try to keep you about an hour, a little bit over, just because I respect your time. Thank you so much for coming on the channel and sharing your story.
Oh, no worries, bro.
Dude, like I told everyone, you want to talk about addiction, redemption, rebirth, restoration. We've had it this hour, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It's just amazing what's going on with you. And it's amazing how every single day you're like, yeah, I'm here. I'm good. And,
I'm good.
You know?
I'm good. I am good. Yeah, man, it's been an honor to come on here. I mean, I've been away from the community for a little while, just sorting things out. But, yeah, I'm back now.
We all go through that, you know?
And, yeah, I probably get 20 DMs a day about bringing out new content. And the other thing I've learned is that you can't rush it, man. Beginning of the year, I'm not going to count on a stimulus check, but I've heard rumors of a nice Christmas bonus. But it's the graphics card will be there soon, and I'll be back.
Well, you know, I'm going to put it like this. I can't speak on behalf of the whole community, but I'm going to speak on behalf of myself. I'll be right here waiting to see that video because your production level is amazing. And guys, for the record, I have told him this before. He's his own worst enemy because he keeps going over it and over it and over it and over it and over it. He puts out like Oscar-winning short films on this is a beer product. And I'm like, dude, do I owe you like $15.50 for the last 5 minutes? You know?
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
All right. So go ahead.
And thank all you guys in the chat. Like a lot of you guys have had my back through this whole thing. And I appreciate it. It doesn't get said enough, but I appreciate it. And all the guys that'll watch it later, Dan, all those guys have been a huge help, man, and an inspiration. Like you guys are awesome.
Rob's son, yes.
Yeah, the one mine that went out's about between 400 and 600. Yeah.
Now, guys, normally, I'd ask what he's got coming up, but he's already said. Now, for me, I released my video today. I couldn't wait till tomorrow. With a good friend of mine, with the issues he has going on, I wanted to inject some humor into the community. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's really funny. It's a tongue-in-cheek attempt to bring humor here. Now, anybody who's watching this video, please go subscribe to this guy. Trust me, he's going to earn your subscription. He's going to earn everything from you. Next week's guest. So. I'm sorry, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I hope so.
Oh, you're gonna. I got faith in you. Next week's guest, guys, is going to be West Texas Beard Crew. There's some good old boys out of, God, I think it's Southern Texas. But, Texas is the only country in the United States where if you mess up which quadrant they're from, you'll get drugged behind a truck.
Yes. Yes.
It's the only way I can put that. But I will not be dropping a video tomorrow. It'll probably be Friday because tomorrow's video is already up today. So, yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit of restructuring with my channel and trying to have certain videos out on certain days where I don't run into, we have 5 straight days of beard product or 6 straight days of knife reviews. I'm trying to mix it up so on certain days you're going to see certain things. But with that fun stuff being said, David, the last moment is yours. Anything you want to put out there?
Sorry, that stupid mute button again.
Yep.
I think we've nailed it all down, man. I think we threw it all out on the table, and yeah, I think I'm good. And thanks for having me again, if I haven't said it already.
Oh, dude, I've enjoyed this. I have been waiting for this one all month. Oh my God, I've been waiting for this one. Matter of fact, since I contacted you and asked you to come on, I've been like, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here?
Yeah, and this is my first time back as Beard Guy Kansas City. So,
well, welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
And guys, with that note, I say this in all my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you are being safe. I hope all of you are having a great night. I'm going to add one more to this. If you're thinking of doing anything stupid to yourself, don't. Don't take a temporary solution to a permanent issue. You know what I'm saying? You can come back from anything. Look at this stream tonight. Look at streams that I've done before. Look at stuff I've put out there for you guys. There's lots of people who will talk to you, help talk you off that ledge. We're here. Reach out.
Absolutely.
And with that, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.